So it was a Friday afternoon in Portugal. Funnily enough, it was raining, right? And my girlfriend had just arrived from the UK. We were supposed to have a beautiful, kind of romantic weekend when I got the call from my boss. At that time, I immediately thought of the worst, that I would get fired from my dream job. Mind you, I was 21 years old, working in the video game industry, building worlds and castles and medieval RPG games. A dream job I had fought for because I had dropped uni, started teaching myself 3D video game art, and getting hired from a pretty big AAA studio. I was making serious money, something around 5K a month. Imagine, like I said, 21 years old. I was living the dream. I had just moved to Portugal and I was living by myself, working remotely. It was perfect, but I got fired. The studio basically couldn't afford us. They couldn't get the investment they were hoping to get. And most of us, the artists, got fired. But that day, somehow, even though I was pretty scared or I didn't know exactly what I would do, I still remember saying to my girlfriend, like, I think this might be good. And I might have been just, maybe I was just shocked. And that's probably right. But I'm sure I was right to feel that way. Because to be honest, even though I had the dream job, I was living in a beautiful country, in a beautiful city by myself. I was bored. I didn't feel challenged, and this felt like the opportunity I was kind of seeking. So, what do you do when you get fired from your dream job? You basically start a specialty coffee brand, but in your home country. So I was still living in Portugal, but building a brand in Uruguay, which was almost impossible since I was the creative director and also the marketing guy, right? We are still a team of three, and I'm the one responsible for marketing and creative direction. So how do you do marketing and share creative posts online when it's something that you have to do if you're running an e-commerce business? Well, the traditional way was impossible since it meant me having to travel back to Uruguay as much as possible to do shoots of the products. But that was impossible because of my new professional situation. So I had the 3D skills, and I thought, why not just do everything digital, right? I could easily create the product in 3D, digital replica of the product. That was easily done. And with that, I was able to create most of the content that we were posting and using for our website and our email marketing and everything that meant visuals. At that same time, mind you, was around 2023 or 2024. AI started happening, AI visual generation started happening. So I started experimenting with that as well. And with the mix of 3D, of my 3D skills and the new AI experimentation I was doing, I was able to create a vast amount of variations for the products and where they were sitting, how they looked, which was quite impressive at the time. So without a job and with this new business, which was doing sort of okay, I thought, why not just try and show this to some other brands? And I knew there was a pretty cool chocolate brand in Porto, where I was living in, that was called Glad. And they were doing this amazing natural chocolate bars. And I went to the physical store and I asked them if I could do some visuals for them for free, which they gladly accepted. And so I did. I showed them the video that I have done, the visuals that I have done for them, and they loved it. They posted it, they went quite well. This led me to work with a bigger brand who they reached out to me after they saw the work that I had done for this chocolate bar brand. They loved the work and they needed help with the launch of a new product. And so we did what is called a fake out of home, which is basically the 3D product on a real life video. And that went kind of viral for them, which led them to obviously sell more products, but also being recognized by more people from the whole country, basically. All of these projects started to lead me to bigger brands and bigger projects, which at the end brought us to work with Reese's and Hershey's. This project was quite simple, basically creating the product in digital, which allowed us to create multiple variations for the marketing efforts, right? And they were launching in Tesco and in Sainsbury's, and they needed different formats for all of the different retails. And so with our system, which basically is having a product replica and then being able to create almost infinite amount of variations quite fast, um, help them have a very successful launch and sell lots of products in a very small amount of time. Even though this is my very first video, this is a topic that I'll be probably going back quite often, which is how by building a system, a smart system for creating visuals allows you to be almost omnichannel, right? Be everywhere, be everywhere all at once, almost like the movie. And another thing I learned after all of these different projects was how businesses that sell online are still relying heavily on traditional methods instead of trying to find ways to digitalize their products so that they can scale their content system, and which allows them to be in more places, in more channels, with better quality and better creatives as well. Just basically what we're doing right now for our clients. Something for another video. The main topic that I wanted to double down on this video was basically explaining how, even though you might not know what's going to happen on these very extreme situations where you get fired or you just don't know what's going to happen, the skills that you have developed won't be for nothing, because what I thought was dead because of AI 3D is now something that I know has transferred into being able to see different opportunities. So if I had to put it in one sentence, it would be: skills don't expire, they transfer. But that's it for this video. If you enjoy watching and listening to ideas, innovative ideas on how to market your products, if you're an e-commerce business, do subscribe, because I love geeking about these topics. Do follow me on LinkedIn if you want to see how we're actually helping businesses increase their revenue and increase their conversion rates by simply changing and replacing their whole content production system with a. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you the next time.